This is the tale of a boy named Dave. Nickname Big D, self-proclaimed. Not exactly true, but Dave discovered quickly if you are insistent enough, people tend to agree. Dave was a master of pseudo-philosophy, a modern-day Aquinas with every opinion he opined backed with the same conviction he afforded his alias. Dave wasn't weighed down by facts. His train of thought was propelled by a fascination with himself, and if you caught him at a bar, Dave's natural habitat, he would not hesitate in setting you straight in a way which discouraged opposition. Dave's mates emphasised every point Dave made by demanding a toast to their intellectual leader, the head of their small council and the lad to back in a fight or a scrap. Dave's main strength rested mainly in his great strength, the point he confirmed when he knocked out Alan for knocking over his drink. The prick deserved it, I'm sure. As well as being worldly wise, Dave was blessed with aquatic eyes, a blue that curled the toes of girls. Dave's face was symmetrical. His hair was enviable. His figure was enviable. Dave's hair was perfected, teeth all present and correct. It is not an exaggeration to say Dave's facial complexion coupled with muscles and dress sense resulted in something similar to Aryan perfection. And on the day in question, Dave felt he needed no help or protection in concluding the ensuing complication. A confrontation of sorts. Dave, with mates to support, propped himself up at the bar he adored and chatted of sports or something similar. Drank liquor and figured that while the night was still young and he was relatively sober, he'd sidle over to this woman he'd spotted across the room. I'm afraid to say that at this point in the story, Dave's tale spirals out of control. With Dave's first step, time accelerated whilst all remained in place. The scenario the same, except time began to race and all, without noticing, visibly aged. With every step, a year flew by, another step, another year. Dave's looks fell away, his shape now misshapen, and as Dave arrived at his destination, Dave found himself firmly in the grip of middle age, and Dave had nothing. Literally nothing to say. Dave sailed through youth, floating on his looks and the force of his fist. He had no need for empathy or sharpness of wits or interest in anything other than tits because they were thrown at him. He was swimming in women, his friends always with him, and so the effort he invested into developing his personality lacked substantially. Time had removed the foundations of his success. He had little left. The aquatic blue, now murky navy, his lean bones now covered in fat and gravy. All that was left was a personality undeveloped through lack of necessity. Dave opened his mouth and all that came out, all that occurred to Dave to say was, "Sorry, love, I'm at the wrong table." Cowed, Dave spun on his heel and returned. On his homeward journey, Dave raced back through his 30s, and when once more with his friends, he was 20 again. He shook off the uneasy feeling in the pit of his gut and enjoyed his youth whilst he could afford to. One finds, when confronted with one's race against time, one can sidestep quickly with Jaeger and pints, but be warned. When the apocalypse of time finally arrives, the peacock will die and the cockroach survive.